20 months of sober time.
All right.
And praise God. I just want to pray. Lord, I need you right now. When my flesh is weak, you are strong. Lord, be here for me here. Amen.
Amen.
I'm going to start it off with a little prophetic word that I got from the Lord last night, praying and fasting. It's a poem. It's called Holes. I've been in that hole for a very long time, in the dark, in the damp, in the cold, the slime. The shaft was above me. I could see it quite clear, but there was no way I could ever reach it from here, nor could I remember the world the way up there. So I lost all my hope and gave into despair. I knew nothing but darkness, for the floor, the walls, and off in the distance, I heard somebody call, "Get up, get ready, there's nothing the matter. Take rock, old sticks, and build up a ladder." This had never occurred to me, and I had not crossed my mind. But I started to stack all the stones that I could find. When I ran out of stones, then the old sticks were my goal. For one way or another, I was going to get out of this hole. I soon then had a ladder that was sturdy and tall. I thought I'd soon leave this place once and for all. I climbed up my ladder. It was no easy chore. From lifting these boulders, my shoulders were sore. I climbed up my ladder, but soon I had to stop, for my ladder stopped short 10 feet from the top. I climbed back down my ladder and started to cry. I've done all I could to give my best try. In spite of my work, in this hole I must die. And all I could do was sit here and think, why my ladder too short, or the hole much too big, or too deep? Then from the way high came a voice, "Do not weep." The faith and hope and love entered my chest as the voice said to me that I've done my best. He said, "You've worked hard, your labor is rough, but the ladder you built is at least tall enough. Don't despair, you have a reason to hope. Just climb up your ladder and I'll throw down my rope." I climbed up the ladder, and then I climbed up the cord. Then I got to the top. There stood the Lord. I couldn't be happier. My struggle was done. I blinked in the brightness that came from the sun. I fell to the ground. His feet I did kiss. I cried, "What can I do to repay thee for this?" Then he looked all around him. There were holes in the ground. They had people inside where these holes were seen all around, thousands of them, that were damp, dark, and deep. Then the Lord turned to me and he said, "Feed my sheep." Then he went on his way to help the other lost souls. Then I got right to work, calling down the holes. "Get up, get ready, there's nothing the matter. Take rock and stick and build up a fine ladder." It was now my turn to spread the good word, the most glorious message that a man ever heard. That there is now who is willing to save one and all. We have got to be ready when he gives us the call. He'll put us out of the hole, pull us out of the hole that we're in, and save all our souls from death and sin. So do not lose faith. There is a reason to hope. Just build up your ladder and you'll throw down a rope.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Woo!
It came to me while I was praying and fasting, and I don't need to say anymore. But I come from a family from Princeton, Minnesota. 6 siblings, 7 including me. I'm the second to the youngest. My father, he was a meth cook, and so I grew up inheriting this from my father. I was 13, his friends had me selling drugs for him because I was under 18, and they said, just keep your mouth shut and do what you're told. I took that on, like a man. I went through life. I ended up meeting a girl, my high school sweetheart, having a child with her at a young age. We stayed together. She knew that what I was all about, but she didn't like it at all. And went on, graduated high school. We were still in high school when that happened. Went through high school, graduated, and continued on with my empire, I guess you could say, that I inherited. And I was about 20 years old, I was 20 years old, and I got caught with a meth lab in the trunk of my car. I ended up going to prison for that, and my youngest son was born while I was in prison. So I've seen my youngest son twice in my whole life. After I was in prison, the mother of my children, she just pulled away. We went our separate ways. I continued on selling drugs after prison, ended up, getting involved with cartel, on the run multiple times. I've got 40 charges, 12 of them are felonies throughout my whole life. That just kind of paints a picture of who I used to be. This last time in Mille Lacs County, I got arrested. I fell asleep underneath my pickup truck. I got involved with heroin, and I was able to maintain for the most part, well, on meth, besides going in and out of jail. It was heroin that just took everything. I couldn't even, I was just a zombie. And went through life like that for 4 years, just on heroin, meth, fentanyl. And so the cops, they finally me passed out underneath my truck. Somebody called me in, I was on the side of the road, and I don't know. But I ended up going to Mille Lacs County Jail. And I got 12 open other cases. I kept on bailing out, get arrested, bail out. They put a hold on me because they knew that I would just bail out again. And thank God. I ended up spending 90 days in Mille Lacs County this time, but in that time I found Jesus through watching The Chosen.
Yeah.
The Chosen on my tablet for free, the first 2 seasons, and it opened up my eyes to who Jesus is. I knew there was a creator, I knew that there was a God, but I didn't think I was worthy enough of that. And I think it's the first episode where Jesus does a deliverance on Mary, and he delivers all the demons out of her, and he calls her by child, or by her name, and that spoke to me. It made me realize that Jesus is for me, and he does use broken people, and that's exactly who he seeks out. So I got a cellmate that looks just like Jesus too. He's got long hair. He looks just like Jesus, and he's walking me through this. And I got 3 different translations of Bibles. I'm up countless nights, and just trying to figure this all out, and not trying to find something that doesn't line up, because I like things that make sense. And a lot of times God doesn't make sense. That's what's so good about, at the time it doesn't make sense until you see it through. And at the end, you're like, oh, yeah, of course that's what it's about. But it's hard to see it when you're going through that struggle. So I'm the Teen Challenge representative comes through, and it's free coffee, and I'm like, all right, yeah, that gets me out of myself for a little bit. So I give this a try. I've never done treatment. I've always just gone to prison. Just, you know, I tried to get treatment a while ago, and the judge this is her words, there is no treatment for drug dealers. So I've never tried treatment before. So this lady is telling me that this is going to change my life if I surrender. You know, like, they don't allow tobacco or nicotine in there, and I'm like, I'll give it a shot. I signed up, and I went through all that, and on the 94th day, the Teen Challenge came to pick me up. It was like I got bailed out of jail by Jesus. You know, I was on furlough. But I went to the Minneapolis Teen Challenge and worked through the furlough, got up, the furlough lifted, and then they're like, well, you want to do long term? And I'm like, I'm still struggling with nicotine, I don't know. But I did, I signed up for it, but I'm like, I want to go to Duluth. I can't stay down here in the cities. I know everybody I know way too many people. So I'll move up to Duluth where I don't know anybody. So I move up to Duluth, do the Teen Challenge. I last a few months, but I still battled with nicotine. And I was on red all but one day on my whole long term. So and red's restriction if you pop pot for nicotine. So like I made it one day out of, what was it, 7 months in long term. But they said that it's time for you to go. And I'm court ordered to be here. The only way that this is gonna work is if I complete Teen Challenge. So I'm like, oh, you know, like, that's one way of God turning your mess. He was ready to turn my mess into a message. So I get kicked out. I get in a hotel, and then I go to Loaves and Fishes down the road a little ways. And I know, I talked to my PO. He's just hot. He's like, you're walking a fine line and you just crossed it. You might as well just come down here and turn yourself in. I told him, give me a week. This Jesus thing is really sticking with me. I think, just give me a week. And so I'm staying in Loaves and Fishes, and I Google churches near me, and this place comes up. So I walk down here. I'm early, so I walked here. I just kind of hung out, and then church. They open the doors, and then I see Casey and Elijah in the church, and then I see Ron. I remember him coming to Teen Challenge speaking, and Casey, he invites me into the house next door, and he says, well, there's a room opening. I'm like, well, and I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I need right now. Is I need a place. I need to be part of this. And yeah, God really came through. I remember praying down by the lake after talking to my PO, saying, God, I need your help. I need your help real bad right now. And why did you have me come up here if I know that I messed up. I know the rules at Teen Challenge. I know that what I did was wrong, and I own that. But don't just leave me here in my mess. And thank God I went to church that day. Because, now I live next door. I got a really good job working for Brothers Insulation. I've been promoted twice. I love the Lord. He's done so many good things in my life. The list goes on and on. But I kind of got a vision of what God's going to do, but I can't put God in a box. I can't sit here and predict, but I kind of got an idea of where He's going to take me with here. And if it's speaking in front of a bunch of people, I better get better at this. But it kind of went short, but I just wanted to paint a picture living a dark, dark life for a long time. And Jesus, he uses broken people, especially a broken man like me. There's nothing in my wildest dreams that I would ever think that I'd be standing up here right now at this minute talking to you about what God can do. And yeah, if you don't believe it, I wish I asked some of my old using friends to come up here, but I live about 200 miles from home. I asked them and my brother, but they all got their own thing going on yet. They're just not ready to see this, I guess. So. But yeah, I got a little song that another night that I was up late praising the Lord that came to me, and LaDonna, go ahead and hit it. I'm sorry it was so short, but this is my first time.